Hello, boils and ghouls. You are now tuned in to PVD Horror Podcast. Pleasant screams.
Hey, what's going on? You're now tuned into the PVD Horror Podcast. I'm Brandon, and I'm joined by my co-host Dave. Today, we're gonna get back into the, our normal routine of like talking about films that have just released or that are coming out soon, trailers. So basically, just kind of keep you guys in the loop of, what we're up to. Dave, you want to throw anything else in this?
Yeah, no, I think there's been a couple of new trailers that released. There's been some horror news, so I think it's a good time right now to kind of dig into what's going on in the horror world.
Yeah. Yesterday we had the Final Destination Bloodlines trailer that released. I felt that, I liked what they did when it first came out, when they just kind of showed like this, like a clip.
Yeah.
Like a clip, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So I wasn't looking forward to anything else, especially having Jeffrey on the show a while back and kind of like hearing how, these guys auditioned for the, to take over as the creators of Final Destination with the Zoom call, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
have liked to seen just like a lot of different trailers with like different kill scenes that had nothing to do with the movie. You know what I mean? Because
That would
it's
have been
like,
cool.
yeah, it would have been cool because it was just like, we're all locked in for a Final Destination movie. It's like, all horror fans are gonna go no matter what. So when they released the trailer, I was just kind of just like, I wasn't looking forward to that. But
So let me ask you this about Final Destination in general. Like you
Mhm.
said, horror fans are going to go no matter what.
Yeah.
Is it one of the more underrated popular franchises? As far as like, I don't feel like people talk about it as much, but you're right. I don't see a world where
Mhm.
there's a new Final Destination movie and we don't go see it.
Yeah. I think it kind of changed because I think that, of course, the first two films were just so crazy. They had a big
Yeah.
impact on our life growing up, especially when they came out. And I think that, after the second film, the third one, kind of got the vibe as like a straight to home video. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like with that's the one with the roller coaster, the theme park and
Yeah.
everything, right?
Yeah.
And then, they went 3D. So it kind of like changed, and then it was just like even five kind of felt weird, but it was
Yep.
they're fun films, but it just felt like they were just those films that were just available. Kind of like it took the wrong turn. Like how you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the approach
Well,
of how Wrong Turn does things.
you know
So,
what other franchise I was going to compare it to? It's like the Saw franchise.
yeah.
Because it's like formulaic, you know exactly how these movies are going to go. It's
Yep.
not surprised, but we're there for the crazy kill scene that's just going to like
Yeah.
ruin us or make us look at a situation different or tap into like an internal fear. So
Mm.
yeah.
What was your favorite Final Destination film?
Overall film,
Yeah.
I've probably seen part 2 the most.
Yeah.
I rewatched 2 like so many times. I mean, part 1 was great, but 2 was probably the one I watched the most.
Yeah, 2 was crazy because I just remember that experience, seeing that in theater.
Yeah.
So it was just like, oh shit, like that. Those kill scenes were kind of just like, oh, what the fuck? And it was like a packed theater because that's how things were back in the day, all the time. It was just a good time out Friday night, and I was on a date, and it was just like, oh shit. So
Yep.
it was cool.
That freaking highway scene. I know we've talked about this before, but that highway scene with the the trees that are cut down and the truck and it unleashes them. Like I think that has impacted so many people. It's like this universal thing that everybody has an experience on the highway with that, and it's like just terrifies you.
Yeah. We even seen Tony Todd in the trailer too. You know what I mean? So a lot of people, were in their feelings about that. You know what I mean? And of course, we're big fans of Tony. But it was great to see him, in the trailer, and kind of I want to see what his role is going to be like in the film.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm like tapering my expectations because I'm assuming it's probably a smaller role because I do think he wasn't feeling well during this period of time when they were filming.
Yeah.
It's still nice to be able to have that that his presence in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of keeping up with the tradition anyway, because his roles were kind of just like popping up. He was just that guy that just kind of like popped up from here from time to time. So,
one more Final Destination question for you: Is
mm,
there a kill scene or a death scene, I should say, in Final Destination that just tapped into one of your fears,
my fears,
or something that just like really like never has left you?
uh, I would just say is the truck one, but then I
Yeah,
think that they're like if you really look at it, from the first one, I think it kind of fucked you up because of like the airplane. You
the
know what I mean?
plane definitely.
Yeah,
You said the roller coaster, that one for me too, because that's always been a fear of mine.
yeah. But
I'm just
I,
gonna
I
go.
enjoy I enjoy roller coasters. You know, I ignore all the bullshit and
Yeah.
everything like that. So I'm
Do you do the
like,
big ones? Like you'll
I do
go.
all. Yeah,
Oh,
I do all of them.
I'm like, I just struggle with like big drops. That's my
I
least
enjoy
favorite.
that's the thing. It's like even for me, it was just like I just always like train my kids to love it. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
remember Xavier and Ava being like really young and taking them to Six Flags and getting on the Superman or the and
Hmm.
everything like that. And so it's just like that's the thing. Like every time we go to Six Flags, we get right into the park and we run. That's our first ride all the time. So
Yeah.
it's like funny. I still fuck with them. I'm like, I don't know why I did this. Oh my God, no. Uh, yeah, but
So yeah, well, those all the scenes in Final Destinations are like classic. So I'm really excited to see what this one's gonna bring us. I mean, just
mm,
that first initial scene they gave us was, tapped into some stuff there. So
yeah. So yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait to see what direction they're gonna run with. But you also brought up another franchise, like we talked about, was Saw, and so
yes.
we had gotten news that that was going to be canceled, and then so it was kind of like when I heard that news for the first time, I was just kind of like it was odd because the last film actually did well, and it was probably one of the ones I kind of like enjoyed out of the franchise since the second one. So the way that they kind of like jumped onto that and it was just kind of it was weird. And so we had gotten a post the other day from the Saw account from Billy the Puppet. They released a statement stating that he's seen the rumors. They say it's game over, and that we should all know better than that. It's never game over.
Yeah.
But it was odd because, like I said, it was why would they scrap a film like that if it did well and people were looking forward to it. It was making a lot of noise, and they had that promotion going on. So it was kind of weird.
That is weird. What's your thought?
Hmm.
What's your thought? Why do you think there is this just for to like draw more attention?
Oh yeah, I think so. I think they're trying to like build it up a little bit more because it's like what I mean, I think it's for the core fans, they're always gonna have those fans, but I think they're trying to pull in other people right now. So it's like I don't know.
Saw fans are losers.
You're the number one.
Yeah, I know.
You're the president of that fucking fan club.
I'm such a sucker for those fucking
Uh,
movies. It's crazy. Um, yeah, it's like it makes you wonder: is it a psych out,
mm,
or did they just like hit a dead end and they're not? And they're like, we'd rather not put out a movie. The movie that we were going to put out isn't doing what we wanted it to do, and let's just scrap it. So I don't know.
yeah, and it's crazy too because you just talked about roller coasters and everything. Saw actually has its own roller coaster. They have a roller
Where,
coaster.
where is that?
I forgot. I don't know. I don't know if it's in this country or what, but I don't know.
Yeah,
But it's like weird because it's like I know there's like a drop and then it has like blades and shit that kind of in that area. So it looks cool. I think that's one of the rides I would like to go on. The Saw
I'll
roller coaster.
pass. I'll pass on that one.
You got to get on that. Saw fan, man.
I've seen how that one ends. I'm all set.
Shock breaking news. Horror fan passes out on the Saw roller coaster.
That's another fear of mine is passing out because I don't want to like accidentally wet myself in public. Like that would be like the worst. So yeah, no,
Shit.
can't happen. So you were just in the theater, I think, today.
Yeah, I was in there last night. So I went to go check out Ash.
Oh, okay. You went last night.
Yeah, so it was cool because Ash was definitely on the list of films for me to check out when I had gone down to New York Comic Con Flying Lotus was there at the Shutter panel, and he had broke the news of the film, showed the trailer, and ever since he showed the trailer, man, I've been locked in, and we've always been talking
Yeah.
about how, musicians and everybody have been breaking the walls down with horror, and I think this is a special time because it's like we're starting to see different things because we always say we want something new, and the artists are bringing something new to the screen. You know what
Yeah.
I mean, that we
Yep.
haven't seen before. And so I think it was pretty cool. Ash released on March 21st. It's a sci-fi horror directed by Flying Lotus. Stars Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad and Isa Gonzalez. I know it's going to release on Shudder at a later date. There's no release date set, but if you're able to go check it out in theaters, I would definitely go check it out because just like the film is beautiful, the colors, everything, the sound design, everything. He took care of it. Flying Lotus is actually starring in this film.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you haven't checked it out yet, check the trailer out. I think they show it at our theater probably like 3 times a day. You know what I mean? So
Is
definitely.
it limited release? Is it like limited time release, or is it going to play for a few weeks, you think?
Yeah, I think it's probably limited time release. I think
Mhm.
it'll probably be in there a little bit longer, but it's pretty cool though because I think because we talked about this, it's like Shutter, XYZ Films, everybody it's to see those films on the biggest screen. I mean, I think it's cool. Like, I'm just seeing that Shutter intro come on
Yeah,
the big
that's
screen.
crazy. Yeah.
It's like, all right, cool. Like, like, because we always talked about it, when Shutter first came around, they had like 3 or 4 movies on their catalog and
Yep.
seeing how far they blown up. And then with us working with Shutter from time to time, it's really cool to kind of see where it's going. And so, congratulations to everybody over at Shutter because guys are definitely killing it. And we have another film that's coming out under Shutter, and that's Clown in the Cornfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's super exciting. So, when is that April?
Yeah, it's April.
April. So super looking
Actually,
forward to
that's
that.
May. May.
May. Okay.
Yeah, May 9th, I think. Yeah.
I know we got some good looks at like how the trailer was the trailer dropped or did they just do
Yeah,
some.
the trailer dropped.
Yeah, I did check that out. I couldn't remember if it was a full trailer or not.
Yeah.
But it was cool to kind of see Friendo the clown in
Yep.
action, like kind of seeing what the look they gave him was.
Yep.
Did it match what you had in your head?
It did because it just never just to me it never seemed like this crazy clown. It just seemed like a cheesy hometown mascot
Yeah.
from a small town. So I think they hit it on the nail with it. I talked to Adam like when I went to the book signing and stuff like that. He was saying, everything he enjoyed everything. They hit everything that he needed to. They created the town the way they needed to. So,
I'm I think it's cool that like he's gotten to be a part of this whole process of the film
yeah.
releasing, which I mean, obviously it's his book that they're adapting,
Hmm.
but we've talked to enough writers to know it doesn't always go that way.
Not at all.
Sometimes they get their work taken and it just turns into something completely different than what they envisioned.
Yeah.
So from what we can see, and I mean, I hope we get the opportunity. I think we'll get the opportunity to talk to him at some point on here.
Yeah.
It looks like this is exactly his vision from what I can tell so far. So that looks really cool.
Yeah. Like I said, he was happy for everything. They brought him in on set. So yeah, it's cool. Like you said, we never see that. It's cool that they have him locked in with the pictures, taking pictures
Yeah, exactly.
with the cast and everybody. But yeah, because he's a true horror fan, man. And so that was the thing. Like he was sitting there talking to me. He was like, dude, like when I created this story, I just locked in on like so many slasher films, so many movies, and he's a big fan. So I even asked him. I said, "Dude, like, what do you think about Jason Takes Manhattan?" And he goes, "I love it." He goes, "It's not the best, but I love it."
Yeah.
He goes, and so it's just like his range, and so when you have an author like that, he enjoys every part of the horror. So you just finished the first book, right?
I did. I'm going to be, I've been reading a few other books in between,
Yeah.
but I'm going to get into the part 2 pretty soon.
All right.
I'm excited for that. The first one was so much fun. Really
Yeah.
a lot.
Part 2 is crazy. So it's a cool trilogy. So I had read them back to back, and like the third one had came out because I was sitting there and I was like, oh, I had pre-ordered it on Audible, and then I remember like it was like, oh, it was available like the day it came out, and so that was like a little bit before I met him,
Yeah.
and so that's why I was just like, oh shit, like damn. But I took it easy. I stopped. I didn't. I'm like like a few chapters in on the third one, but
Okay.
I'm gonna get back into it. So, but
I'm hoping that will, if this one does well, I'm sure they'll want to adapt 2 and 3. So
yeah, I think we'll definitely get those on film because it's already being labeled as people that's seen it at South by Southwest are labeling this as one of the top clown movies. Like, you know what I mean?
not
Killer clown movies.
that's a big title right there.
Yeah, and I think because it just has so many fans, and we talked about this, with the authors, we have authors on and everything, but um, because when this first came out, I remember like years ago we talked about it.
We did
We
a long
talked
time
about
ago.
it,
Yeah.
and so it didn't hit for everyone, and then it was just like because it was like, oh, that's a kid's book, and
Yep.
then it's like I think over the years, like as you dumb down now, it's like if you want like the best slasher horror film book read, you know what I mean? I think you have to go to the youth horror section
Yeah.
to kind of
And
get
it's
that.
not like a little kid's book. It is definitely like a
It's a
young adult.
teen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You gotta
I mean, you got some swears.
yeah.
You got some gory kills.
Yeah. And they keep it up. And that's the thing. It was just like, when the marketing came out, it was just like for the film, it's like, how are they going to do this? Is it going to be rated
Yeah.
R? Is it going to be PG-13? And even in the trailer, you see like it's gory. So,
Yeah. Casting wise, Kevin Durand is in it. I
yep.
do like him a lot. I started to really appreciate him the most from The Strain.
Yeah.
His character in The Strain, I really enjoyed. They got Will Sasso. Wasn't he from Mad TV originally?
I think so.
Ages ago. I gotta say though, in my head, I can't remember the freaking guy's name though. The sheriff of Kettle Springs.
Yep.
I envisioned him as I was reading it as the freaking guy from Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, the sheriff in that one.
The actual sheriff, yeah.
Yeah, I always pictured him as I was reading it in that role,
cool.
but yeah, so not him casted in it, unfortunately, but that would have been cool.
Yeah, that would have been sick.
So yeah, super excited for that one.
Yeah, May 9th, that's going to be dropping. So definitely pre-order your tickets or whatever. I don't know, whatever you guys do, support your local theater. Go out and see it. So
get out there.
So there's another film that actually released today. There's two films that released today. We have Death of a Unicorn. That's an A24 film starring Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega. I kind of wanted to go into this blind. I seen the trailer like one time, but like I'm still like I really don't pay attention to it because I'd rather just go in and watch it. And so I think
I had the same thought. I avoided watching trailers. I'd rather not know and just go in and enjoy it.
Yeah, but from what I've seen, it kind of gives you that vibe. Like it kind of looks like it's like weird. It's a weird film, you know what I mean? It kind of looks like some type of like Beetlejuice type, like just some Stranger Things style, you know what I mean? So it's like, all right, we'll check it out, So definitely,
and it's
Unicorn.
A24, so you know that it's like gonna be quality. It's gonna have some depth to it, a little artsy, possibly. So.
But that's not bad, you got Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd, so you got some comedy, laced into it with Paul Rudd. And I think like he's done well with the Ghostbusters franchise. I mean, I think he was a good addition to it, kind of keep you laughing here and there. But we'll see. We'll see.
And we know he can do horror because he nailed it in Halloween 6.
Halloween. Yeah. So we'll see. And we got a Woman in the Yard that also released. Blumhouse is back again with their take on that. So we'll definitely check that out and see. You know what I mean? Blumhouse, they released Wolfman, so we'll see what this is about. You know what I mean? You enjoyed Wolfman. I thought,
I did.
So we'll see what this is about because we don't know. You know what I mean? It's up in the air. I seen the trailer. Looks decent, so hopefully it follows through, you know what I mean? And I think that's what we kind of complained about last year was that Blumhouse's first two approaches of releases didn't really do well. So they didn't hit like Imaginary and Night Swim, they didn't hit well. But Wolfman was a little decent, so we'll see. And there was also news, there was a post that released that had something for Five Nights at Freddy's 2. So
That's October, I think, this year.
yeah, and so they're gonna release something next week. So I don't know if it's a trailer
Okay.
or what, but it kind of popped up. It was just like a post that they put up. So we'll
Nice.
see.
Yeah, because this October is going to be nuts. We're going to
Yeah.
have the Megan 2.0, Five Nights at Freddy's. We'll see if Saw ends up
Well,
happening or
Meg,
not.
I think Megan comes out in the summer.
Oh, it's summer? I don't know
Yeah,
why
I
I
think
was
it's
thinking it
June,
was
June or July.
October.
It's
Okay.
June or July. Yeah, I
Then
seen that because they had that trailer the other day too when I
yeah.
was there. So yeah,
You know what's like funny? I had two non-horror fans who saw Wolfman tell me they really enjoyed it. And
yeah,
then Wolfman got roasted by a lot of the horror community. So I wonder if it's because they're watching it through the realm of like
the
what,
originals.
yeah, what their expectation is for like
Yeah,
what they wanted to see a Wolfman movie. So non-horror people ended up enjoying it more than us.
yeah. We said it, like the transformation and everything. I think
Yeah,
that it's like we've been spoiled with transformations from other
sure.
Wolf movies. So it's
Yep.
like, hey, it's not going to be great. So with, like, you're looking at it, non-horror fans, they're looking at the cast. Like you're probably looking at, the girl from Ozarks.
Yeah.
She's great. She was great in Ozarks. You're a fan of her. She was just in the Rosemary's Baby
Hmm.
prequel. So I don't know.
And you got the kid from Girls.
Yeah. So I think that when you
All
have
the
yeah, when
everyone
you
loves Girls, you
yeah.
know.
So when you have someone that's out of the fandom of horror looking at it, they're looking at it from, oh, who's in it? Like, you
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, who's
yeah.
in it? Oh, it's not that bad.
Oh, that's scary.
Say that again.
Oh my.
You right over there, buddy? Oh shit.
That's the non-horror fans, you know?
That's scary.
Oh my God.
Shit. Fucking also, yeah, I was in the theater last week. I had taken my daughter to go see Snow White, the live action one. That's getting
Did you like
fucking
it?
dude. So here's the thing. I think that all Disney live action movies suck. They're not that great. And then
Yeah, I can agree and also probably have a couple that I enjoyed more than
which
I
one?
should have.
Which one?
I liked the Lion King one.
I didn't watch it.
I thought Childish did a great job.
I never watched it. And
You
then so
gotta
they got
check it out.
they got the Mufasa one.
That
I know
just
that
hit
just re
Disney
that just
Plus.
Disney Plus to yesterday.
Yeah.
I would check that out because it's an origin story. So, you know what I mean? It's a little different.
I actually watched the Little Mermaid one too, and I didn't hate it. It wasn't
Oh, no, yeah.
terrible, but
Yeah, the Little Mermaid one was right. But see, this is what's happening with these films is because it's like you have the live action where it's like you have certain people are just like, oh, the Little Mermaid's not black. And then in this film, Snow White, her father's white and the mom's Latina. So she's mixed. And so she has more of the Latina look. And
Yeah.
so it's like, I think that when you open up Facebook and shit like that, people are like losing their mind about that's not my Snow White. Like, it gets to that point where it's just
Mhm.
like, come on, can we look past that and just like let, the kind of kids kind of just look at
Yeah.
whatever it is to kind of look up. They're doing something different. You have the cartoon, you have the live action.
Yeah.
And so like we get it. We understand. But I'm not,
I heard the best thing. This guy was on he was on X, which of course this would be on X, and he's doing a video trashing Snow White, all like Disney's so woke for doing this, all that stuff.
yeah.
And then I scrolled down to the comments because I had to see what people were saying. They're like, dude, you're like 40 something trashing Snow White, get a life. And like everybody just kind of like just laid into this guy about you're a full grown man, dude. Why do you care about Snow White? That is weird. And they're right. Like,
No, it is. It is. It's for the kids. Like, you know what I mean? Let the kids enjoy it. Like, I honestly didn't think it was bad, but it wasn't, like I said, I don't really care for the Disney live action movies.
Yeah.
And so, and honestly, to be real with you, I think Snow White's story was always not there for me. I really didn't care for that film, the cartoon as a kid.
Yeah.
So I think that a lot of people had high hopes for this, but right now, I think the score on IMDb is sitting at a 2.0. I seen that it was 1.7 and it had taken the crown from Mortal Kombat 2 for the worst scoring
Jesus.
film ever on IMDb. And so I have seen some, comparisons of Jason Takes Manhattan
Oh my
versus Snow
God.
White. I'm like, people are like,
Come
but I love
on.
Takes Manhattan. So, but I don't know. I think that overall, I think that a lot of people need to kind
Chill
of
out.
relax because
Yeah.
I mean, like this girl's an actress, and I think that they're shitting on the
Yeah.
casting decision. Like, trust me, like,
She
okay, cool,
there was some like stuff going on with her as she got the
yeah,
role, from my understanding, and I get it. Like, if you don't like her, that's fine, but you're now ruining it for like the everybody that's part of that film.
yeah,
Gal Gadot's like freaking beautiful, so like I would look at her for 2 hours and not have a problem with it. So I'll go see it. But the one thing I did hear one person say something, I'm like, all right, that's a valid reason to not want to not promote this movie.
yeah.
Snow White is like the first full length animated film and is like the thing that put Disney kind of on the map for
Oh, okay,
animated features. So it's like, in that sense, sure, it's a classic. It has like an importance in animation history. So
yeah.
like, yeah, maybe like for that reason, I can understand like why they probably shouldn't have bothered touching it, but they did, and
I think they had to. I
yeah,
mean, they're gonna touch all of them. They're gonna get all the
eventually, yeah,
movies. All the
exactly.
movies are gonna
We
get
got
done.
Alice in Wonderland ages ago, and nobody cared.
Yeah, we got Lilo and Stitch coming out soon. So,
Yeah, it looks fun.
I think
Yeah.
some people were kind of like, "That's not my Stitch." I seen somebody put like, because in the trailer goes, "Oh, this spring or whenever the movie comes out, meet Stitch for the first time." And somebody put the comments, "I met Stitch 20 years ago." Like, dude, shut the fuck
Jesus.
up, dude.
Jesus. Yeah,
But
he was running across the freaking Super Bowl.
yeah, but it
Stitch.
looks good. And then I
Yeah.
think, what is it? Moana already, the live action part
Yeah,
that's
they're
already
doing.
completed. They did that already, so that's coming out next year.
Yeah.
So, The Rock's in that. So,
He's in everything.
oh well, that's his voice. He's
Yeah, that's
Maui.
right. That's
So,
right. Yeah.
all right, let's get back onto our horror shit because way off.
So
Disney podcast.
so I know that you had shared the trailer for
Yeah,
Toxic Avenger on our social media,
yeah,
and everybody got to get a good look at Mr. Dinklage as Toxie.
yeah,
Like it or love it or hate it or leave it or whatever they say. We got it,
yep,
and it looks bonkers.
yeah. I was
Crazy as hell.
shocked. I was shocked because I had woken up. You know what I mean? And I opened my phone and the fucking trailer was on, and I'm like, what is this? Let me see. And I watched it, and I'm just like, oh, okay, it's giving the same type of vibes from the original. And we
Yeah.
kind of talked about that was our main thing. Like, even years ago, we had Lloyd on. Like, Lloyd, how do
Yeah.
you do this? How do you do this film over? How can this happen in this time? You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
so it was
Yeah.
just like, from what we seen in the trailer, it just seemed like a true trauma film.
It does. It feels like similar to Return to Nukem High,
Yeah.
Shakespeare Shitstorm. It
Hmm.
feels like just an extension of all those films. So they really stayed true to the trauma style.
Yeah. And so I know Screenbox and Cineverse is behind, you know, helping it because I know it was just like a film that was just dead in water because it premiered last year.
Yeah, I would love to know what really happened when that premiered, because I don't know. I don't know if you got more detail, but it just sounded like the audience just trashed it so much that they decided to shelf it.
I heard something different. I heard it was
Oh,
just like it's just so fucked up. It has all those I think it's just like a trauma film where it was just like, hey, we can't take a chance on this. We can't do this. And so I think that's why like Screenbox and Cineverse jumped behind it and was just
yeah,
like, all right, like this is a product that we know that will do
right.
well. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
it's gonna crush
It's like you
under.
got Kevin Bacon in there and you got fucking what was it? Who else is in there? Fucking Spider Tobey Maguire, right?
Tobey Maguire is in Toxic Avenger.
I think so.
Oh wow, I don't even know if I knew that. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude
That's
from
crazy.
no, not Toby, not Toby. Fuck. What's your boy from Maniac, the remake?
Oh, Elijah Wood. Yeah,
Elijah Wood.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Those two I get them mixed up sometime.
yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
Elijah Wood is like a huge diehard horror fan, so that's cool.
Toby, I ain't in that shit.
He somehow hurt us. They'll put my name on that evil.
His spider senses were tingling.
Don't put that evil on me.
I'm trying to do another Spider-Man movie. I'm chilling.
So it's going to be interesting. I'm assuming it's going to get like a short theater release, and
Yeah.
then it will be hitting streaming probably like a month after or something like that. I would assume.
Yeah, I
They
think
might have
it'll
already
probably.
dropped the dates. I don't remember. Um, but I do think that this is gonna be a big one for Screenbox and Cineverse. Like
Yeah.
not Terrifier level, but it's definitely gonna have a lot of excitement behind it. The trauma community is huge.
Oh, yeah, they're gonna take over and go and do what they need to do with that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, the original Toxic Avenger has just it's the fan base is out of this world. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you have that film is just sells so much physical media. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's makes so much money where it's like you have so many fans. I think that even if you're not a fan of Trauma, you know what the Toxic Avenger is. And I think that people are still gonna kind of like want to sit there and say, "Oh, let me check this out." Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
think like it has the, marketing and the team and the from the original film behind it to kind of probably do something bigger than Terrifier. I think
They're
if it comes down to it, you know what I mean?
they definitely could. There's potential for it because it's an already known entity. And, if they do this and this lands really well, they're going to have potential to do sequel after sequel. And yeah, for sure, he could, Peter Dinklage as Toxie could turn into the next Art the Clown, as far as like popularity at cons and stuff like that and all that stuff. So,
Because now you do take it into everything, you know what I mean? Like, look how everyone gravitated towards art. The first film, not that many people cared for art. That
yeah.
second film came out the same wave, the same wave. It was like, okay, Screenbox was behind it. And then it was just for everything that they did with that was like they didn't hold back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how that fan base grew. And it
Yep.
was just like, oh shit, this is whoa. Now just think about it having a film now where it's like these kids. Like I remember, like I said, like Xavier had said, "Oh yeah, I seen part two. Oh, it had da 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 da," and it was just like now you have these same kids looking at Toxie,
Yeah.
how we seen them years ago,
Right. Right.
but how they're looking at art now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like we'll
It
see.
definitely has potential. And I like the little marketing campaign they've had him, uh, people dressed up, I guess, as Toxie, kind of like all around and like taking photos with people and stuff like that. So they're pushing it.
And,
I'm
and
interested. I think it's cool. Like this is the stuff that is interesting to get remade because it for the cult horror fans, it holds a
yeah,
special place in their heart. So I think sometimes there's like that fear, are they going to give it the right treatment? Like I'm sure people had that with Street Trash, we saw that get remade, and I'm sure that there were some Street Trash lovers that were like, oh, I don't know how they're going to be able to, remake this in the same
hmm
fashion. And Ryan Kruger did, a decent job of trying to give his own twist to it and all that stuff. So it's the
yeah.
same here. It's like a really like beloved entity and for that community. So
And you look at it too. It's the 40th anniversary of the original.
yeah, that
It's
is a
they got a
big
video
thing right
game
there.
coming out
Yeah.
that's going to be on all platforms. That's going to take over, and it's like kids are going to be like, "Who's this guy? Who's this? What's this?" I'm telling you, I think they have the opportunity to knock the door down with this shit. And so, shout out to everybody over at Screenbox Trauma. You know, what I mean,
Yeah,
congratulations. I think that with the right tools and marketing, like we just said, I think it can definitely lift off,
for sure.
get art back, like get Toxie back, like how he
Yeah.
was years ago. So.
Um, so a franchise that maybe isn't as exciting that will be returning. The Strangers Chapter 2, we saw some first looks. It looks like there's gonna be some hospital scenes. They showed we got our three killers again. I know I started it off by trashing it already. But I gotta say, like, I don't know. It just the first one, I thought maybe after some time and as this new one approaches, I'd gain a little excitement about it, but it's not happening. So I don't know if you're feeling any different, if you got a chance to look at the first looks and all that
Dude,
stuff.
it's like weird. Like the promotion and everything for this is weird. They're like, "Oh, here's the first look." Dude, that fucking trailer came out in January. I already seen the trailer, so it's
Yeah,
like, why are you giving us pictures about first looks? It's like the
right.
trailer was already there.
Yeah, that is kind of weird, actually. And they went for a totally different marketing scheme than they did with the first one. They had like the super like they had the killers like all over the place taking photos and like random places looking ominous. It was like ton of build up, just like random Polaroids of characters and like just kind of making you have to like guess and put the pieces together.
Mm,
I don't know if other people are saying it. I'm not seeing any of that promotion leading
no,
up to this.
I think
It's
they
falling
spent it
flat.
all. That's what they said. It was too. The money's gone. The
Yeah,
budget's fucked.
it's really
Um,
fallen flat, I think.
no, but in general, like I always was open minded. I think we had conversations like
Yeah.
this, with multiple people at different events and stuff like that. Like, okay, cool. You did a basic walk by step by step, a little bit different creation of the original film. Okay, cool. I'll give you that. Whatever. It wasn't as good as the first one, but now you have the opportunity to lift off and do something different with the second film. What are you going to do with it? And then because the third one, they're doing three films.
Yeah.
You got to make this one stand out. Because if not, cash in, the third one's not going to get made.
I swear I saw a photo of them in the fucking woods again. And if there's a whole 25-minute wood scene, I'm gonna leave.
No, you're not.
I won't, but I would want to.
I'm gonna leave.
I will want to leave. No, that scene drove me nuts. It was way too long and disorienting, and it was just like close-ups of them. I have no idea where they are in proximity to each other. It was like a very weird scene that just didn't need to be so long.
But it was the same thing. Like like I said, I seen the first one. Like I wasn't blown away. It wasn't nothing crazy. Like there was certain pieces in the film that stood out to me and you, but overall, like, did it need to be done that way? No, it didn't need to be done. And it was kind of just like cabin fever. Like I brought that up before. It was like, why do we need another cabin fever step by step? I think it was like a film that was kind of created by students or something, right? That was kind of fans of Eli, and he greenlit it. We didn't need that remake. It was like the
Wait,
same.
wasn't it Ty West?
I don't think so.
Hold on.
Don't put that on him. Don't put that on him. I don't think it was him, but I'm pretty sure it was like.
I know that there was a ton of post-production issues, if I remember correctly. I'm almost positive I listened to a podcast of his with him, and he was talking about it maybe not being the film that he had kind of sought out to make.
Yeah,
Am
but
I totally wrong by him being connected to it? I might be.
If he probably knew someone that was involved in it, I mean, because that whole mumblecore group was kind of behind things, and I think that's when they all came in together. So
yeah, it's not I'm not seeing his name attached to it, so maybe I'm wrong here. But
it probably was something.
Travis Z, whoever that is.
But I remember it was kind of like
he changed his name.
Who?
He changed his name to disassociate with the film.
Oh god,
it's Travis Z.
But yeah, I think that was like a student film. I know that what is behind, and then they kind of I think Eli was like, all right, cool, whatever.
Oh, no. I know when I just got confused. He did Cabin Fever too.
Yeah, that was good.
The confusion.
Yeah, all right. Yeah,
and I enjoyed Cabin Fever.
Oh yeah, that part two was good.
Yeah,
part two was good. You know what I mean? But yeah, who knows? Strangers 2. You got to impress us with the second film. If not, just cash it in. You're done. Don't make the third one.
We're doing them a favor by going in with low expectations, though, because they can probably only please us.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're going to leave knowing what we were knowing what we were going to probably end up seeing. So, yeah, maybe it's good that we're lowering our expectations.
Oh yeah, we had to. You know what I mean? And so it is what it is.
It was only appropriate.
But in other news, I know right now we have a nice little giveaway going on our Instagram. We have Sinners starring Michael B. Jordan that's going to release on April 18th. We're doing a giveaway, giving away 2 tickets to the IMAX screening of that, and I think that'll be cool. You know what I mean? So we got up to like 12 tickets to kind of give away. So definitely, if you're listening right now, jump into that giveaway to be able to win a shot at seeing Sinners on the big screen on IMAX, um, I'm definitely looking forward to it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
we've
it's
talked
different.
about like how
Yeah.
promo has been stepping up in this past year or last year and everything like that. You know, like we just saying, you know, strangers spent their whole budget on promos with
Hmm.
pictures and everything. But I think it's cool because Sinners did something different. They joined the fun on they have a mode on Fortnite called Survive the Night. You know what I mean? So now you can play Michael B. Jordan. I think it's kind of like a zombie mode, kind of like
Okay.
how, you know what I mean, like little how Call of Duty and stuff had because they used to have a zombie mode on Fortnite. So I think they probably just dressed it up a little bit, added in the skins for Michael B. Jordan and characters from the film. But this is big because, you know, Fortnite's one of the biggest video games that's been made in the last couple years. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, it's so crazy how it just changed the whole platform of gaming, you know,
Yeah.
battle royale. So everybody wants to do it. You know, now you have Call of Duty jumping into that. You
Hmm.
have other games that just might kind of being created that way. So this is cool, you know what I mean, to have your film promoted in Fortnite. I think it's the right way, and I'm definitely looking forward to this film. What about you?
Yeah, I'm excited. I think it looks like a different film than what we've been getting. So
Yeah.
it looks unique. And Michael B. Jordan's a great actor. So if he's attached to something, there's like that level of trust that you have going into it that like it's probably going to be something of quality. Like I can't
Yeah.
think of a movie he's been attached to. I know people will probably say like what's the superhero one he did? Fantastic Four, right?
Yeah,
I'm sure you
yeah,
could throw that one out there, but I think they were going for something different with that one. So maybe, that he can get a pass for that.
yeah,
But yeah, him being attached to this just I think it gives it a lot of credibility. So I'm excited.
yeah. Definitely looking forward to it. So, like I said, join the giveaway, secure your tickets.
Do it
Yeah.
now.
Oh, we got some. I think we're gonna have some cool merch for the film too. IMAX merch. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm
So,
excited. I love some merch. Of course. It's free.
in other news, we got another film that's coming out. We have Finn Wolfhard, who you may know as Mike Wheeler from the hit Netflix show Stranger Things, is the co-writer, co-director, and the star of the upcoming film Hell of a Summer. You know what I mean? Which premiered at the Toronto Film Festival in 2023 and is set to be released by Neon on April 4th. So that is like a film that's paying homage to like all, you know, the summer slashers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, sleepaway camp and everything like that. Have you seen the trailer yet?
I didn't see the trailer, but there was a poster that I did see for this that you're talking about paying homage to. So
Yeah, the retro one. So
yeah.
it's pretty cool because they have that and they paid homage to everyone's favorite 80s slasher, Happy Birthday to Me.
Mhm.
Great
Probably the best
film.
poster
Oh
of
yeah.
like most memorable poster of all posters.
Yeah. So seeing them kind of create a promo with this attached to it, it's like, okay, cool. All right, I'm looking forward to this. I had seen the trailer. I'm like, all right, it's like a murder mystery at the summer camp. You don't know who the fucking killer is,
Hmm.
slasher. So I'm looking forward to it. And so big fan of Finn. He's a great actor. He's been in so many films. Like you have him in the It remake, Ghostbusters also. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
He's great. You know what I mean? The,
Yeah,
the kids love him.
they're growing up, these guys.
And he's also got his hands in the reboot of Idle
I
Hands. You know
heard
what I mean?
that.
So him,
Yeah. Yep.
so we'll see. You know what I mean? Like I said, this film was released in 2023. It was filmed, so I'm gonna say what, 2022?
Hmm.
So when
Yeah.
you're sitting on that and so trying to figure out marketing and everything like that. And so I think right now Neon is just, you know, the company to go with. They got the monkey, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? They
Yeah.
had long legs.
You've been seeing
So
Neon, yeah, for with it attached to a ton of projects. So that's cool for
yeah,
them to.
so we'll see. You know, I'm definitely looking forward to this. Can't wait. And just keep your ears and eyes peeled if you're in our local area because we're supposed to be working with this project too. So we'll see
Okay.
what we have. We have something special coming up.
Yeah.
So stay
That will
tuned.
be that will be good. Yeah, these Stranger Things kids are all growing up, but I'm not seeing Dustin enough, man. I want to see Dustin.
Dustin, he changed. He got his teeth fixed,
I
right?
know. I'm
So
disappointed in that.
nah, but yeah,
Did you see all that stuff about Bobby Brown? Everyone's like, there was like all this like media tabloid things saying she looks like super old and like
well,
super rude.
they
Yeah.
grew up. They're not
Yeah.
little
She's
kids
married and
anymore.
stuff, but she's like, oh, I'm not allowed to age. Like, what's people's problem?
Yeah.
Like, damn, people are freaking harsh, man. Like,
I think it's because, I mean, overall, it's just what it's coming down to. It's like, I think that that break in between all the seasons, you know what I mean? And so now it's like you have these kids, they're older now.
Yeah.
They're adults, you know what I mean? That they still have to portray kids in this show, you know what I mean? So it's like, I think that's where the, confusion and the lost situations are with people making these type of comments. You have her playing what is she, like 15?
Yeah, I think so.
And no, but I'm saying in Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And so, and then now she's what, 20 something, But
it's going to be like that for The Last of Us, but I guess like you were explaining, like their timeline in the story is going to kind of match their ages, right?
Yeah,
it's going to make sense that they're older.
Yeah, they have to be. And that's why I was saying it was good that, they did take a little break because, the characters definitely age in the second film. Like, I mean, this is years, like a lot of years later. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like,
I also want to give a shout out to Bella Ramsey, the girl from The Last of Us. I just was reading an article the other day, and she was talking openly about her diagnosis on the autism spectrum.
Yeah.
And I guess she just like got diagnosed sort of recently, and she was talking about how it's actually been an advantage to her for acting. But I just think it's really cool for her to draw some like normalcy to that diagnosis. I mean, I'm sure if people have been listening to us for a while, Brandon and I have been working in the field with people with disabilities and, autism and all that stuff for quite some time. So, it's important for us to kind of hopefully bring some normalcy to that stuff as well. And I just thought it was cool for her to like come out and say that, because you don't commonly hear people talking like that about it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool because, I mean, just like those opportunities, even like at our event the other night, I think that, of the children and, teens with autism, they enjoy these films.
Yeah.
Just like, anyone else because, I mean, the big fans, and then they have, I mean, like Bryce, everybody like, I mean, create films and projects and do everything like that. And we had, one of the guys that comes to our film nights frequently. He got up, I mean, I was really proud of him at the end of the film. He was like, he wanted to promote his YouTube page, and he kind of like, he was like, oh, I'm so nervous. And
that was the best when he said that. He goes, I'm so nervous right now.
All right. And he just went right in and promoted his YouTube page. And I think that that's cool because, it's like, they're big fans. They're big fans. Like we had, the zombie movie, what I mean?
Yeah.
The guys, Matt and,
it was a Sam and Matt.
Sam and Maddie.
Yeah.
So it's like it's really cool to see, everybody being able to kind of like do what they love. And so, I think it's really great.
Yep. So Brandon, tell us about this Halfway to Halloween from Screambox.
All right. So Screambox has Halfway to Halloween coming up with a few cool films that will be featured. They have Art Attack. So that's like the behind the scenes and everything that they created, how they created Terrifier 3. Our buddy, John Campiano, he's a part of that, the documentary.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He had mentioned that actually.
Yeah, so that's streaming now. So that's now available on Screambox.
So we did our that was our Christmas holiday market we did, right? And he came as one of our guests. And so I got a chance to like chat with him a little bit during that time. And he was telling me about this. And he said, the crazy thing is he's not even like a super huge Terrifier fan. It doesn't really fit into like the style of horror that he really gravitates to.
Yeah.
He said, because this also talks a lot about like the crowds that attract, like Terrifier is attracted and like the cultural impact. And he said like, but being around all these people, it was like infectious. And he just said it was like so crazy how big this has gotten and like how much people love it, you know? So
Yeah.
even for someone who wasn't like a huge Terrifier fan, he said like working on this project really kind of changed his view of it.
Yeah. But it's so crazy that like we said it earlier, you know what I mean? Because when the first film came out, it didn't hit that way for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it took for the second one, and I think that it just knocked the walls down and the barriers of everything of like what you can do and what you can't do. And I think that opened the door to like a lot of fans because there was so many people that just talk shit about the franchise, and then now it's packed, sold out, doing what they want to do.
There was a pretty notable horror podcast that was like kind of shitting when we were posting about it.
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
Yep.
I
Yeah.
won't drop any names, but they were like, "Oh, you're putting that stupid clown up on your posts." Like,
It is what it is.
yeah.
But
Right. Look at us now. Not just
so they have some other films that you may have seen already before, like I Spit on Your Grave, but then they have a little documentary coming out of growing up with I Spit on Your Grave. So that premieres on April 3rd. So it's gonna give you like the backdrop and history of the film, you know, everything that kind of had gone on. That was like just that cover always stood out to me as a kid. But yeah, what about you?
That's another one that I'll never forget that image. Yep.
Yeah. So
A knife behind the back, she's in her underwear.
yeah.
And in the time before like I actually saw it, I would had no idea like what the premise of it was. So I'm just like, oh, it's just some like sexy killer, woman killer.
I'm drawing a blank, but I remember we had a conversation about it with someone that had to do because we had someone that created the reboot one on there, but the person that's on the original I Spit on Your Grave, I forgot who it is. I think but she's a model or something or some.
So the original actress?
Yeah.
Camille Keaton is the original actress.
I don't know if that's her in the on the poster.
On the poster. I wonder. I bet it's not.
I think it was someone else, but I don't know why. I know I'm like whatever, but I'm just kind of like freestyle right now.
Yeah.
I know it, but it's gonna be as soon as the show's over, it's gonna be like fuck.
It's gonna hit you. I went to a store once, like I was at an antique store, and there was a I Spit on Your Grave lunchbox, and I didn't buy it, and that will always sit in my. And it was probably made by
how much was it?
I can't remember at this time. It was like so long ago.
You probably looked, and it was probably like $20, and you was like, I'm not paying $20. You're like the
most likely
guy I know.
It most likely was, but to this day, that was like the one purchase I will always regret not making.
You just have nightmares of it.
It literally was probably somebody made it. Like they probably just took like laminated, but I was like, it was cool.
You're like, take the money. This is $20. Take it. Fucking guy, you're so fucking cheap.
I know. I really am. I can't help it.
Oh shit. Oh man. And they have another film that's going to be premiering on April 11th, which is now streaming on Shudder. The Coffee Table. If you haven't seen that yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. Have you seen it yet?
No, that's literally I've been talking about this film, and I don't know why. I just haven't.
I thought you've seen it.
No, because I know because I talked about it a lot, and then I just never actually got around to watching it, and then I kind of forgot, and then I was like, oh, it's actually streaming. So I didn't. That's what it was. When I first was talking about it, I couldn't find it streaming anywhere, and I knew it was going to be, so I didn't bother buying it at the time.
No, okay.
And then it snuck up on me because I didn't actually know it was out. I didn't realize.
It was on Shudder.
Yeah, and I think it's been out for a little bit now. So
it's been out for a while. So it's definitely a fucked up film, and so I think a lot of people are kind of like getting into that now. People, because I know I'd seen a few other posts. Somebody was just like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't really trust people's opinions today when they say something's fucked up. I don't trust them. And he watched it. He goes, "Yeah, that's fucked up." So yeah, I watched this. I was like, oh man.
I think we're going back a little bit. I think the gore movement, like that extreme gore movement's coming back a little bit. And I think it's like society's release from all the stress going on in the world. I think we tend to like let it out by watching really gory stuff. So that's been happening a lot lately.
Oh, okay. And they're gonna also release a new show called Bloody Bites. New episodes every Friday in April and June. Streaming exclusively from Bloody Disgusting and Screenbox. It's a bite-sized compilation, like snack-sized horror films. So I think that'd be cool to definitely check out. I think that we should probably cover that. You know what I mean? Just kind of like check in.
Yes.
You know what I mean? See what we can do.
I think this actually might be like another season of it or not, because like I think they had this
Yeah.
last year too, if I remember correctly.
I think this is probably like their third season,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
So that's cool. And we're obviously we like short horror films, or
yeah,
like anthology style stuff. Like that's always fun. So
yeah.
on the indie film note, I wanted to just kind of talk a little bit about a film that drew my attention as soon as I saw it. So it's called Ed Kemper, and
Mm,
for most of know Ed Kemper as a notorious serial killer from the
yep.
70s. Who, if you ever watch the show Mindhunter, which Brandon, I'm assuming you've seen Mindhunter.
I've only seen like a few episodes, but
Okay.
yeah, when it opens up, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, yeah. If the more you get in, like I think he might make his appearance in season 2, but
Okay.
he plays a prominent role in season 2, and he's a really intense, huge figure. He was like 6'7", 300 pounds, Ed Kemper. So he's a
Mm,
big dude.
yeah.
So there's a film coming out called Ed Kemper. It's by Epic Pictures. It's under their label Dread, but that's set to release in theaters on April 4th. I'm not sure how widely available that will be in theaters, but then it's going to be for rent or purchase on video on demand April 8th.
Mm,
So the director of that, he recently did H.P. Lovecraft's The Old Ones, which I saw was on demand recently. And then there's a few actors, but I saw that what's her name? Brink Stevens is in it. I recognize that name. She was in House on Haunted Hill. And then
okay.
Lou Temple from Walking Dead and a few other actors will be in it. But anything serial killer psychology related, I'm usually pretty down for. So when I saw that, I
Yeah.
immediately reached out to them and said, let us know more. So
Yeah.
we got a screener and we'll be doing a review, but we can't release that till after April 6th. So stay posted and we'll talk a little bit more about it.
Yeah. We're gearing up for another season of Monster also too. So
Yeah, Ed Gain.
yeah.
It's got that heartthrob from Sons of
Sons of
Anarchy.
Anarchy.
Can't stand hearing about it. It's like we get it. He's handsome. Yeah. What's that dude's name? Charlie Hunnam or something like
Yeah,
that.
Charlie. You can
Oh,
just call him Jax Teller.
yeah. So I mean, um I didn't see any trailers or anything yet drop. I don't know if they did or
No,
not.
not yet.
There was a
So
poster they think that they released, but that's about it. Did you watch the full Menendez brothers season?
no.
Same. I made it about halfway, kind of once like trial portion started, I kind of fell off a little bit and just didn't get back to it.
Yeah. Eh,
It just had different energy, I think, than the Dahmer one, but
yeah,
it makes
yeah,
sense
Dama.
because the story's different.
Yeah, totally different. But yeah, it's I don't know, but we'll see if they can pick it back up. And I didn't hear I heard good things. People like the Menendez
Yeah.
brothers one, but I mean, I think that overall, from the history of everything, I think that I think just the acting was just a little bit different in Dahmer. I think because
Yeah.
his it went to another level and he became him. Like.
Did you see the episode where I can't remember which one was which, but when he took off his wig, the
For the
toupee?
Menendez brother?
When he took off
Nah,
his
I think I only
toupee.
probably seen like fucking 2 episodes.
You
I
gotta
don't.
just watch the episode where he does that just for the comedic factor when he takes off his toupee and he's bald on top, and it's hilarious. That I was like, is this? It actually felt like a comedy at that point, but it was.
It's a
I
comedy.
enjoyed the show. It's just like I said, I just fell off for a minute and never got back to it. So
Nah. And speaking of TV shows, man, I think that for anyone that's out there and you're a big fan of just film, you need to check out the new Seth Rogen, The Studio, which
oh
premiered
yeah, I've
the
been
other
hearing about
day
this.
on Apple Plus, Apple TV. Um, that show is just nuts because it's like we always complain about how these films are made or what is going on, why, da 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 da.
Mhm.
And I think Seth Rogen's character is just like, he's coming up in the business and the person that was above him lost a job and then he got the promotion and he always had the dreams of creating like top-notch films and then like when he's just driving through the lot he's like, oh man, I want to make the next Rosemary's Baby, this and that, da, 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 da. And then it's like he goes into the situation, he gets the job, and it's just like, all right, you got the job. now I want you to make this bullshit fucking movie. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And then it's just like, yeah, because this is what sells. This is what does best. This is what it is. And so it gives you the whole breakdown of the studio life, you know what I mean, of creating films and how projects are kind of like put out there because you have someone that's in charge that just doesn't really care. They don't
yeah.
really care. They don't see the vision, but you might have a team of people that have the vision of what they want to do. But then it's like, hey, if you want to fucking keep your job, this is what we want you to do. And if
It's
you're
such a
not going to
crazy
do it,
world.
and if you're
Yeah.
not going to do it, we're going to find somebody else to do it. And this is what it
Considering
is.
the whole like film is all about art, it's all about artistic expression. It's so crazy how it is turned into this thing, this
Yeah.
entity that just like sucks the artistic value out of it. And then
Hmm.
there's these like, yeah, it's such a crazy dynamic. It's
Yeah.
unfortunate, but
Yeah, the cast is crazy, and you have so many people in there. So it's like it's a comedy, you know what I mean? And so
yeah.
they released the first two episodes, and I think they're gonna start releasing it like every week, new episode. So definitely check that out. That's a top-notch show that I think that everybody should kind of view to kind of get the backdrop of
Yeah.
what this world is like.
Yeah, for sure. And for people who are also like fans of TV shows and good film stuff like that, Temptation Island season just dropped on Netflix. It was intense.
You those
Oh,
goddamn shows, bro.
I just had finished Love Is Blind, and then you got Temptation Island right after that. It's like,
See,
damn, dude.
see, this is why you're not caught up with all the fucking movies you're supposed to be fucking watching because you're sitting there watching this bullshit.
Dude,
Love
it was
Island,
intense. It
Naked
was
and Afraid,
no,
uh,
I don't do Naked and Afraid.
fucking
That's Flavor of
Flavor of
Love,
Love.
Rock of Love, and Flavor of Love. Yeah.
Oh shit, man. You know, like Drewski had a show like that. It come on like Zeus or some shit.
Oh my God, no.
But I think it's called like the Love of Drewski.
Oh my
Like this
God.
fucking guy. All right, we're getting way off topic.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yes.
All right. So just, I mean, I guess we're towards the end. So we got
Yeah.
our big event coming up April 11th, Friday, April 11th.
Yep.
If you're in Rhode Island or if you're surrounding Rhode Island, you definitely want to come. We're going to have Kevin Van Hentenreich of Basket Case, the star of Basket Case, is going to be there in person as we screen Basket Case at Buttonwoods Brewery in Providence. The event's going to kick off at 8 o'clock. Get your tickets ahead of time because we do think that this is probably going to be one of our bigger events there, and we want to make sure that you are able to come. There's going to be two levels of tickets, one for just the Q&A and the screening, and another ticket tier will get you into the meet and greet with Kevin. So we're super excited to host him, and I think that's going to be just a super fun event, without a doubt.
Yeah. Yep. And for everybody like we announced this already at our last
Yes.
event, but for everyone listening now, we're gonna have another event with a special, screening with a actress, author, which we just had on the show. We have Karen Parsons. You might know her as Hilary Banks from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We're going to be doing a screening of Death Spa on May 30th. And so if you did not know, this Steph Spa was her first, appearance in film, so it's like this was something special. We were able to have that conversation. So if you didn't listen to that last podcast, go check it out because it was a really cool, special episode. So, and we're able to have her come down to Buttonwoods on May 30th. And so, like Dave said last time, I think that we're changing the game up. We're having, some special people come in and making appearances for people that, support us over the years in our community. This is our way of giving back, you know what I mean? Like just doing something different and, having fun with everybody.
Yeah.
So,
and for those of you who aren't super into the whole meet and greet type thing, don't worry. We're not going to only do that. I was thinking about that last time because we announced 2 meet and greets. And I'm like, well, I don't want people to think we're also going to like strafe too far away from like what we do. You know what I mean? So we'll be mixing in. We got some, other big screenings coming up over the summer. There's some anniversaries, so we might have some anniversary screenings, and just mixing in our fun B movie cult horrors as well. We gotta keep it random, but we just did Leprechaun 4 in Space this month, March. And that was a lot of fun. I think the crowd that was there was just they love Leprechaun. They were all fans of the Leprechaun franchise, and everybody seemed to be having a good time with it. So that was cool.
Yeah.
I also want to say, because I don't know if we mentioned this last time we recorded, Twin Peaks night. We did the David Lynch tribute night. I just wanted to point that out. That was actually at the new spot, I believe, our best turnout to date. Yeah. Just barely beating the Scream double feature.
Yeah, no numbers,
but it just barely beat the Scream double feature, and it really kind of showed the impact that David Lynch has had on so many people. And people came out to watch Fire Walk with me and just have a good time. People in cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon was wrapped in plastic. I was Dr. Jacoby. It was a great time. We had the log lady.
So, I love you, Dr. Jacoby. I don't know if that's what she said, but I heard you say I love you too.
It was a ton of fun. So I just wanted to point that out, that people really did come out for David Lynch, and that was cool.
It was a good time. And you had some people walk in and they looked at the screen and like, what is going on? And then they seen like one scene and they were just like, okay, yeah, I don't know what's going on. They fucking
That's always the best.
They weren't there for the movie. I think they were just coming for the brewery.
Yeah, that's always the best when people come in and they have no idea what's going on and they just see all these people gathered watching some crazy shit. And they're like, what? Yeah. So, all right. Yeah. So I guess that's it for us.
Yeah.
Okay. So. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening, and hopefully we'll see you at one of the upcoming events, and we'll be back with another episode next week. So everybody, have a good night.
Take it easy.
Peace. Game over.